Orianna interaction, so still a lot of combos.
Oh, looky here. We're going to see Cop on Ezreal and NY Jackie coming out on Karthus. I'm really excited for this already. NY Jackie's Karthus is just phenomenal, and Cop is just known for his Ezreal. Any AD carry he plays, he is very scary. So this one's going to be really interesting to see already.
Now, this is the new Ezreal, so without that attack speed slow on his W, it's going to be a lot more interesting to see whether or not he'll be able to trade just as effectively, because you got to keep in mind, this is Aphromoo. He knows how to trade, he knows how to win lane, and that attack speed slow is a big deal when it gets down to the nitty-gritty of trading for AD carries.
So Smithy and Aphromoo going to come out with 2 picks here. I'm wondering if they're going to go for the support AD carry combo. Their famous one that they've been using a lot in EPS is still there. I'm not going to say too much. Like, actually, we'll see what's going to come out here, because it's going to be really fun if they do pick this out. But, I mean, they've already got Shen going to be in there. Great, just dive. Aphromoo can be aggressive and know that Shen's going to throw out his ultimate and be there for him.
And that's just how good the coordination is here on FeaR or MTWNA or a picture of a goose or MME or whatever you want to call them. They're FeaR now, and they're definitely going to be striking their fair share of that into the hearts of Curse here. Just interested to see exactly who they're going to pick to do it with.
So they got about 5 seconds coming out here, and looks like Smithy's going to go on to Maokai, and possibly going to see a Fiddlesticks. Is that maybe going to be a support Fiddlesticks taking it away from Elements there?
You know what? If we see support Fiddlesticks, I'll eat something or other, but there we go.
Yeah, this is going to be one crazy thing. We could see him in the middle, but I'm not totally sure how Fiddlesticks would go against Karthus. I would think Karthus would win that, but Elements hovering over, possibly support Zyra there. Cop just doing his normal thing of randoming everything possible. I'm kind of curious what he's going to pick up. Maybe Shyvana here. That would be a lot of fun to see. Shyvana, St. Vicious, they just go hand in hand.
Yeah, pretty much. That is his go-to champion. He was up at the Riot offices earlier on this week, possibly filming St. Vicious chooses Shyvana. Not sure about that, but we'll see.
So we got about 10 seconds for that lock-in, and of course they're going to wait until the last second to lock in. So what can we possibly see coming out from the top lane, you think, here from Voyboy? He knows that there's going to be a support Fiddlesticks. He knows that there's a jungle Maokai and a top Shen going to come out just from, seeing the picks. I'm wondering what he's going to try and pick against Shen here. But before we go through that, we do have the last 2 picks going to be coming out from Team FeaR here, and it looks like they need an AP carry and they need an AD carry. So are we going to see any of Aphromu's, maybe Twitch? And he's hovering over Twitch. Come on, you want to pick it. That'll be a lot of fun to see. And Gosu Zuna going to pick up TF. So we're going to see Aphromoo on Twitch with Muffin Cutie on Fiddlesticks down in the bottom. And we've got Gosu Zuna coming out, or actually we're going to see Mandatory Cloud, onto TF in the middle. So this is going to be a lot of fun already. A lot of action going to be coming out.
Yeah, and I am actually really anticipating, getting into the lobby, because we are working this out a little bit differently. But the most important thing that I have to notice, at least as far as the picks that I have caught up here, is going to be at Karthus Ezreal. It's semi-global, but it definitely allows for a lot of pressure in bottom lane, because you can trade with that extra Karthus damage.
So we got Voyboy taking this time with his top pick, and I mean, he's got a lot he's known for. I know back in early of Season 2, possibly, he was known for his, I can't even think, Akali.
Akali, Lee Sin, a lot of aggressive top laners.
But yeah, we're going to see a Riven maybe. That is going to be a lot of fun. Riven can just dive into the back of a line and tear someone up. Even more someone like Twitch, if she can get in the back of the line with all like the double Bloodthirster build and that kind of thing that we've seen the other top laner for Curse. I am blanking for some reason.
That's going to be Westrice or
Yes.
Salsa for a while, though.
But Westrice, right at the beginning of Season 2, he was very big and very popular with his Riven and really brought her out. If he gets into that back line, Voyboy, he can tear Aphromoo up really quick. So, Aphromoo going to have to play really back and really just, I think, on the defensive almost.
Yeah, it's just going to depend on what that last pick is. I'm unfortunately not in the lobby, so I'm going to be a little bit behind until we do get things underway. But as far as top laners, I would expect him to still go for that aggression. But based on the way their scrims have been going recently, I expect to see a lot more command coming out of that top lane, which may inhibit the just balls to the wall aggressive play that we normally see out of Voyboy.
And it looks like we're going to go into the 3-minute delay period, guys. So we'll remove the summoner blockers, and we can kind of go into what we're going to see here. So it looks like we are going to see St. Vicious coming out on that Shyvana against Smithy on the Maokai. So there's a lot of good ganks that can come out of Smithy here. We've even seen level 2 ganks coming out with that Twisted Advance really quick. So we might see a rush up top on the Voyboy, because Voyboy, not sure what he can start. He could start Broken Wings or he could start Key Burst. It really depends on when we get into the game, how level 1 is going to start and that kind of thing. So looking in the middle, though, we are going to see ManCloud on TF versus NY Jackie, Jackie, however you want to pronounce it, coming out on Karthus. And this is going to be a scary one, too, because Karthus has really no way to control what TF does. But at the same time, Jackie can sit at his race, be farming race, pop his ult, and get a triple kill.
Yeah, it's all about different kinds of globals. You've seen them a lot out of that focus from mid lane, and it's going to be Twisted Fate's going to actually physically teleport there to do the damage, which does allow him those opportunities for a lot more presence in the lane he teleports to, whereas Karthus, he just presses R, and it's actually pretty effective from what I've seen.
So we are going to see triple exhaust, ignite, and cleanse coming out for Curse here. So they really want to it almost seems like they just want to shut down Aphromoo. They have a few that are going to get back and get into the back of the line. Jackie is going to flash in and trying to be in the middle of the team. Elements has his ult, and his main focus is going to be to get on the Aphromoo. You've got Voyboy diving into there. What can Aphromoo do to stay away from this and stay safe? I mean, you've just got so much damage that's going to be coming his way, and you've only got so much you can do between FeaR, Taunt, and Root.
Yeah, and I think that the FeaR is definitely something that's, it kind of defines Fiddlesticks. That's why he's there in that lane. You have 3 seconds where an AD carry can just beat on you, and that's 3 seconds more than Aphromoo needs. So it's going to be really interesting to see exactly how they mitigate that. I mean, Cleanse is one way to start, but really, how far can that go? I mean, Cleanse has a 90-second cooldown, so it's going to give him a lot of opportunity to maybe have some leeway with that Fiddle support. Definitely interested in seeing how that works out.
Yeah, that's going to be really scary. Speaking of that Fiddle support, I mean, you're going to get a FeaR in your face, and then you've got Aphromoo, who's going to always land that W that's going to come out. I forget, it's a cask. I forget exactly what the name is, but that's going to
Venom Cask.
Venom Cask, thank you. That's going to put 2 stacks right up there, and then he's going to have a bunch of free auto attacks as you're trying to get away. That's a lot of damage potentially. I mean, Elements is going to really have to watch out because he's going to want to play aggressive, but if he gets caught out by Muffin Cutie, I mean, it's the same thing, it seems like, in this bottom lane. Whoever gets caught out is going to die quickly.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of quick things happening down there, mostly just because of the way Twitch works. Once you get those poison stacks on them, all you have to do is pop Expunge, and then now with the rework to Twitch, the poison keeps ticking down, it keeps doing true damage, and it's not cleansable, so it's really going to be on there no matter what you do about it. So Aphromoo really good at counting the stacks of poison, knowing exactly how much Expunge will do, counting off that damage so that he knows exactly how to work that out with Twitch. But Twitch still suffers from the same things that he always has: stealth, counterable by oracles and pink wards, and really, really squishy. But with one of the best AD carry steroids in the game, he's going to do a lot of damage if they give him a chance.
And look at some of these skins. We see medieval Twitch coming out here.
Medieval Twitch, yeah, I know Aphromoo was working a long time to get that for not subscribers, but recommendations, and really excited to see that coming out here. It looks like we do have a support Zyra to counter the support Fiddlesticks, so very non-standard, very sort of AP mid characters going bottom in the support role because, support characters kind of got hit a little bit hard with a few bats made of a nerf and a few things like that, but it's really going to be exciting to see how Elements matches up against Muffin Cutie on 2 very, very CC heavy supports with a lot of damage.
And it looks like we've got maybe a little bit of aggression coming out of Team FeaR here. They are, I mean, they're right there waiting, and maybe they're expecting an invade from St. Vicious. I know St. Vicious a lot used to say on the stream, he doesn't care what his comp is, he's going to invade. So there might be something a little bit different here.
Yeah, so if you are just now joining us, welcome to the stream. This is the semifinals for the National ESL's Pro Series. So thanks for joining us. This is Curse versus FeaR. FeaR on your bottom left-hand side of the map on the blue side of the jungle is kind of defending their Wraith Camp red buff FeaR. And this is a little bit interesting just because of the strategy that they're planning on doing. They're going to go ahead and give off the red buff early on to Smithy, or rather, and then let him go through the rest of his jungle route. Usually you see Maokai go to blue, so he could just be going Wraiths to blue like you see a lot of Maokais do, but he's awfully far over there and doesn't look like he's necessarily positioning to do that. So it'll be interesting to see how both of these jungles get off to a start.
And it looks like St. Vicious is easily going to start with his Wraiths and go, and I'm expecting a quick gank up in the top. I mean, the top lane is so easily able to be snowballed that, I mean, it's almost not the right thing to not go up there, if you know what I mean.
Oh my goodness, this is so smart from Curse. They're just going to do their raise and then go around because they know Maokai needs that blue buff. They're looking to get this catch off, but with excellent positioning here by Gosuzuna, he's waiting right around the corner and he knows that what exactly they're doing. Voyboy's going to try to get off a little bit of zoning, and that's going to be a blue buff over to St. Vicious, but you can see exactly the plan there by Team FeaR. They knew Maokai's blue buff was vulnerable, went ahead, let that go, and just started him out safe and sound at the red buff. Now looking to counter the blue, but there is a ward there placed by Curse.
And it just looks like an easy start coming out for both of these teams. They got the quick blue steals, and it's going to work out. Voyboy up in this top lane right now, and he's going to take a little bit of harass, but what he really needs to do, I would think, is just...
St. Vicious coming around. He's going to get there onto Smithy.
Exhaust going down onto Smithy, and they're trying to get some damage off. Cobb coming around, and Smithy going to twist advance onto St. Vicious. First blood going out to Aframu. Aframu now trying to change onto Cobb. Elements getting a kill onto Smithy. So a lot of double buff being traded around, and Cobb going to get a kill onto ManCloud. Flash coming out from Aframu. Aframu needs to get away from there. Muffin Cutie trying to head to the bush, break some line of sight. And already we see a lot of action coming out, and Elements has a double buff now.
Yeah, so there's a lot of buffs down there in the bottom lane. Aframu rocking the blue buff. That's going to mean a lot of expunges coming out, a lot of venom casts just because it's free harass. You get the true damage dot over time from his poison stacks, and then also expunge doing massive damage from that. And Elements, yeah, I said he was playing an aggressive support. Now it's aggressive with double buffs. How do you lane against that? I don't know, but Aframu and Muffin Cutie are going to have to figure that out.
That is going to be really scary. So looking over at this middle lane, me being an AP mid player, I always love seeing what's going on and just looking, and it almost seems like, I mean, Karthus just needs to sit back and farm and not worry as much about what ManCloud does other than when he needs to pop his ult. And actually down in the bottom lane, a lot of aggression coming out from Elements, but he's going to have to back out of there soon. He's really low health if Aframu catches onto him. And that ward over the wall, that was, I mean, that's an amazing place to ward, and you can never tell when it's going to come out.
Yeah, people say support players don't have skill. Elements just kind of proving them wrong there. It's really rough to ward that. You have to place it just on the right tree so that it bounces over the wall there. So just making a little bit of a name for himself there. Pro warding strats 2012 coming out from Elements. So really great to see him making a name for himself there. Something that I do want to note is the interaction between Fiddlesticks and the Zyra support. Now, Zyra plants take different damage based on what kind of spells or auto attacks you used on them. They're kind of like wards, but a little bit different in that respect. But the Dark Wind coming out from Fiddlesticks bounces between them, deals single target damage in those bounces, and actually takes out the Zyra plants remarkably quickly. So that's going to be something interesting to see if we see that interaction come out a lot more. Just look at that harass coming out from Expunge and all of those stacks of Deadly Venom. Like, that is so much harass that he can just do for free because of that blue buff start.
St. Vicious did go back, got himself a longsword and cloth armor, so he wants to get that Wriggles pretty quick, and he's just going to go back to farming. And I think this might be somewhat of his strat. Up in the top, though, Voyboy trying to get some type of harass and pushing Gosuzuna pretty far back. And after a while, I mean, Riven can get really scary. If you really embrace on her early game damage and build around it, I mean, you get really scary and can almost really control a Shen in the top lane. Went back, got his armor boots, got a Doran shield. He just needs to try and stay tanky up there and mitigate as much damage as possible going out.
Now, this is where the rubber meets the road. You see Shen having gone back. He's going to come back to lane with Doran's shield and Ninja Tap Eye. It's almost like he knows Riven deals one kind of damage, is building accordingly. Love that reaction to that. But bottom lane, that's where the real action's going to start happening.
Look at St. Vicious up in the top. There's a Keeper's coming down, trying to get on to Gosuzuna. Ignite does go out. St. Vicious now just going to try and cut him off. A great taunt coming out from Gosuzuna, and he's going to get away from that, and really only wasting Voyboy's Ignite there.
Yeah, he turned around, so St. Vicious was able to get the twin bite off for a little bit of extra damage, but now with Smithy coming top, it looks like we could have even more action in the top lane.
Smithy's got to be careful here because the wave is starting to push towards Voyboy, and Gosuzuna's kind of helping it along there, so he's going to be waiting for a while. But here comes another wave coming back, and there comes Cop going to pick up a kill onto Aphromoo there, but Poison going to pick up the kill on the Cop. I apologize for missing that, guys. I was watching in the top lane.
Yeah, I was actually looking. There are a lot of different places that Karthus could have ulted. The top lane was definitely one of them, but because Mandatory Cloud went back earlier, he didn't stay in lane. He didn't get 6. He couldn't have counter-ganked that at all. He was just totally out of position. Really great job by NY Jackie just staying in lane a little bit longer so that he could use his global to help in other lanes, and a really great job there by Aphromoo. You can see he got that very last attack in right before everything went, well, pear-shaped, I guess you can call it, and picked it up with those Toxic Venom stacks. And
oh, here comes Mancloud, though. The stun. Ignite going to go down, throws down the wildcard, get the kill. Yes, Elements goes down. Great job by Mancloud, trying to clean something up there.
Did you see him count those cards? He knew the card coming out, that one last auto, was the stacked deck auto that gives you at least, I think it's giving him about 72 more damage now. So he knew all he had to do was throw that card, ignite, and pick up the kill. That is some Messiah level stuff. Not only counting which card's coming out when, but counting exactly which hit of the stacked deck is coming out, knowing he would pick up the kill.
And right now we've got Mancloud trying to go get that blue buff, and Karthus doing pretty good. He's at 62 CS versus the 43, and this is what he needs to do. But look at this, he got a Cage's lucky pick before he got his Catalyst. Are we possibly going to see a DFG coming out from Karthus here?
I certainly hope not. DFG gives you nothing unless you just happen to have like 1,000 random AP come out. I mean, it's great for an extra nuke. It works well on high HP targets, but essentially you need about 1,000 HP to make it do what it used to do, and then you still don't get 15% CDR. Froggen used to love rushing that item on Karthus just because your ult was up that much faster, especially with the increased cooldown, but now it really doesn't give you anything. I mean, you might as well go Athene's Unholy Grail, which we've actually seen a lot of Karthus's do, not necessarily necessary, but with the Kages, maybe just looking to pick up a lot of extra regen, and hey, Karthus gets a lot of AP anyways, so we could actually see that a little bit further down the line.
And I really like Aphromoo start here. He's just full of aggression. At about 7 minutes when he first came back, he now has a BF sword versus Cop, who has a Phage and a Doran's. And actually, here comes Maokai, and they kind of spotted it out. Maokai going back into the Tribush, so missing a little bit of a gank opportunity there. Pinging out a ward so they know kind of where it's at, and maybe we're going to see Smithy come in here and get something started.
Yeah, Smithy is waiting in the wings, ready to go down there, but it's really a battle of pure raw damage versus tanky bruiserness, because you got to see Cop has Doran's Phage, whereas Aphromoo has literally nothing but boots and a BF sword. So when there's damage, it's going to be immense, but he's Twitch and also extremely squishy. A lot of trades happening in top lanes, so you can see Zuna actually doing really well, able to sustain through that just thanks to Vorpal Blade and the regen from Doran's shield. So it's actually doing really well to kind of curb the aggression that Voyboy's showing up there.
And look at this too, every single time it looks like Jackie has been taking the race from St. Vicious, and they've had a little bit of a battle there. And I mean, that is just perfect. He's at 89 CS at 9 minutes and 55 seconds. That is just crazy. And actually we got a surprise coming out from Muffin Cutie. Stun gonna come down as Mancloud does teleport down, and Mancloud gonna pick up the kill on the Elements, and this is what FeaR needs to do. They need to keep on this bottom lane and keep it pressured. If Aphromoo who can get fed can carry the game, and this is a big thing for FeaR's strategy a lot.
Well, I think they have a lot of potential carries coming out. Twisted Fate, one of the strongest mid to late game characters. You can backdoor with him. You can certainly carry with him. And Mandatory Cloud definitely knows how to do that. So he's already starting to focus that bottom lane, target everything down there. But it's really a battle of globals. Twisted Fate's ultimate is down for another 70 seconds. Karthus' ult is in fact up. So you could actually see that top lane. It looks like we may have a dive here coming out from St. Vicious.
And St. Vicious is going to get Twisted Advance on knockup. Here comes the Karthus ult coming out as Voyboy pops his ult. The Shen ult going down onto Smithy, but no, Voyboy going to pick up that kill with Ignite. Exhaust is down. He's trying to chase on the St. Vicious. He gets the kill on the St. Vicious, goes to Zuna, but that's a double kill for Voyboy. That is scary right there.
Well, that was kind of the worst of both worlds there. St. Vicious jumped in there, knew he was going to get the kill there with that Dragon's Descent, but, actually, Mana Cloud could come in here. No, he's not going to get that. I say Mana Cloud because I want to say Mandatory Cloud. There's the flash.
Oh, the flash stun in the wild card. Wow.
Oof, that's a little bit rough. You can see him still chasing. I was like, does he have flash? And I look and see it's up, and I'm like, well, Voyboy is kind of dead. So even though he did not have his ultimate available in that situation, still able to put himself in the perfect place to get that. And that just shows you how great he is at Twisted Fate. Able to not need his ultimate to be in the right position, just shows up, able to pick up that kill, make it a 2-for-2 exchange.
So we do see Aframu and Muffin Cutie did go back. Our Aframu now has Zerg Greaves, BF Sword, and Pickaxe. He's looking to just get fed, but I mean, he's been on the back foot the whole time. We do see a good Dragon attempt coming out from Curse here. Smithy trying to get in there, the wall going to come out, but no, St. Vicious going to land a smite. FeaR goes down, St. Vicious gets blown up. Aframu picking up that kill. So Curse gets the Dragon, but they lose St. Vicious for it.
Yeah, still worth it for Curse. He did not feed those buffs away. I mean, you got to look top lane. There was that transfer of the red buff onto Mandatory Cloud, so there is that you have to watch out for. But overall, a really good exchange from Curse. Sure, they lost the jungler. They lost a little bit of that presence, which allows Smithy to counter jungle a little bit, but they did get that extra gold, and that does put them ahead, but not by that much. Only ahead by about 500 gold.
Look at this, though. They're all grouping up around the mid lane. Aframu trying to help push down this tower, and this is perfect for them. They got the kill. Now they get the tower. They all got an assist for St. Vicious there, except for Shen. So now does that even make it worth it?
It's actually really, really good. You can see because they know Mandatory Cloud's playing Twisted Fate, and the middle turret probably one of the most important turrets in the game, because once that's down, you lose a lot of pressure in your jungle, and that just allows Twisted Fate to get in better and better position, able to exert even more control over the map, because you just can no longer ward all the places that he's going to teleport from. I mean, you can kind of tell when it's coming, where it's coming, but now that his ult's back up again, looks like he might be looking towards that top lane.
So we do see 7 to 5, 18.7 to 18.9k. It's really, really close, guys, in one's game right now. And Aframu taking a lot of poke from Cop. Look at that. Just the poke. And here comes the surprise from Muffin Cutie. Ult coming in from Karthus. Aframu getting really low. He's going to have to flash away. Throws out the explode. There's the ult from Cop. Going to snipe that kill. Exhaust down on Muffin Cutie. Cop getting a double kill. There comes the ult from Mancloud up in the top lane. Voyboy taking a good amount of damage. St. Vicious just going to run away. There's 3 people there. Nothing he can do. And now we've got Mancloud 4-1, and we've got Cop 4-1 right now.
Yeah, so it's really a battle of the AP and the AD carries. Cobb just absolutely in control of that bottom lane. I mean, with such exhausting pressure coming out from Twisted Fate early on, I definitely thought Cobb was going to have a rougher time with that. But you can see that really he's kind of put a lot of that effort onto Elements. He's saying, you know, man, you're the support. You got to carry me home here. And even though, maybe 1 and 2, not the greatest score, the 4-1 is really what you got to look at. And even though Aframu doing extremely well, almost has his Infinity Edge in about 1,000 more gold, you got to look at Cobb, man. That guy is going straight up for the BF Sword item of his choice. Probably going to be a Bloodthirster coming out. That's usually what you do see on Ezreal's before things, just because you do get a lot of stats from Trinity Force. So, like you mentioned, man, the 4-1 scores are where it's at, and already almost a Rabadon's death cap completed on Mandatory Cloud. He has 114 CS leading his team right now, but with 150 on NY Jackie, that guy is farming like a monster.
He's got his Rod of Ages. This is the perfect time for that Rod of Ages now. I mean, he's still got a lot of time for it to stack, and he's just going to be farming more. His next item most likely going to be a death cap. Always taking those raids from St. Vicious, so St. Vicious just going to tax his lane, and he's pretty much known for that.
Yeah, and so St. Vicious trying to get CS wherever he can. And that's the thing that kind of sucks about going a manaless jungler when you do have such a heavy farmer mid as NY Jackie. It's going to allow him to take a lot of your jungle. You really need to get that back through gold for 5 items, and St. Vicious has that heart of gold, but probably won't be going for anything crazy like an average play. Pink's going in on the middle. Smithy looking for a kill.
And NY Jackie knows right away. Jackie, however you want to pronounce it, there's so many different ways. And they're just going to back out. And we've got Muffin Cutie now just waiting in the wings. They're going to pick up that ward there. We do have the Oracle now onto Smithy. And Voyboy up in the top, going to pop his ult, trying to trade with Gosuzuna there. Ignite goes down. Here comes ManCloud, though. The wild card coming in. And there goes Voyboy. And TF is just so deadly right now.
Yeah, and Twisted Fate making plays, and really it is all on Mandatory Cloud right now. You can see he's sitting at 5-1. Things that the ball is in his court, and there goes off Smithy right into the middle of 3 people. Not sure that was necessarily the best. And
St. Vicious going to Dragon's Descent in with that kill. He needed that right there. But oh, here comes ManCloud though. The ult is coming out from Shin. Jackie's going to have to get out of there. St. Vicious caught by Aframu and Muffin Cutie. He needs to get away. Silence goes out. Is that going to get the kill on Jackie? No! Jackie escaping with next to no health there.
He literally had like 15 HP walking out of there. I mean, he's Karthus, so if he dies, it's not the worst if he gets a good position on that. But without a good position, he really needed to stay alive, and how he did it, I do not know. That's why he's playing mid for Curse and not me, because he is actually ridiculously good at that. Some people have kind of criticized him for not wanting to roam a whole lot, but he's playing Karthus, so all he has to do is sit mid, farm it out, and press R when the team needs him, and it's actually been extremely effective throughout the course of this game. But you can see as the towers keep falling here from Curse, it gives FeaR a 3-1 lead, and already we're ushering in to the mid game. Once those towers fall, it's more about those team coordination, the teamwork as you group up and push objectives, because there aren't those towers for you to run back to, and that's really going to start to play into FeaR's hands.
And looking at some of the goal totals here, we do have TF with 6.7k. He is just doing phenomenal right now. 5-1 for his team, farming great, and still able to gank lanes, which is just phenomenal. But we see Jackie too at a high. St. Vicious possibly going to get caught out there, but no, Sapling just going to chase him down. But I mean, this is where the big part of their gold is going to be onto ManCloud and onto Aframu, and this is where they need it to be. Aframu now with that eye edge, he's got a dagger, some life still. He is just going to be destroying people. Where you've got Cop though, he's got that Bloodthirster and that Phage. At the same time, he's going to be destroying people. So I think right now the team fight is all about getting to the AD carry. But then you look at FeaR and they have the wild card of TF.
Well, that's a very interesting pun you point out there, my good friend. But I think the other wild card that we also have to look out for is the steroid from Aframu. He has Lay Infinity Edge, and when you press R on Twitch, everything dies as long as it's not Twitch. If Twitch is included in that, kind of sucks for the Aframu here. But with one of the best AD carry steroids in the game, all you have to do is hit it. And if you can do that, and I have no doubt that Aframu can, it's not looking good when you pair that up with massive AoE coming out from the Muffin Cutie ult, and you can see it just continuing to catch Curse out of position. They just cannot react in time, and one more turret falls for Curse, and as FeaR just continue to move across the map, really out-positioning Curse here.
So let me ask you this, Rapid. What does Curse need to do right now to get back into this game? Do they need to catch someone out? Do they need to force a team fight? They're on the back foot right now. The gold is really close, but they have 1 tower to FeaR's 4.
Okay, look, Cop is a monster right now. He's 4-1 with a Bloodthirster Phage, working on that Trinity Force. Also, Karthus can just die in the team fight, still be effective. So I feel like if they just like shoved it down that middle lane, forced that team fight, they could do a really good job. The only problem is that one of the greatest counters to Karthus is that Maokai ultimate. Reduces the area of effect damage that not only Karthus does, but everything else inside it. When you see so much damage coming out from Zyra in that AoE, it's really going to be countered there by that Maokai. So it really hurts their chances at having that favorable, huge team fight, big engage kind of push that I really feel like Curse need to do. At the very least, they need to keep up with FeaR. You can see Shen split pushing in the bottom lane. All comes off from Twisted Fate. Just get back to lane and make sure nobody's doing anything crazy like the 2-man Barons that you guys know that St. Vicious knows and loves. But you gotta know that FeaR's gonna be feeling really good about themselves. They have the where they're needed. And with, oh my goodness, already a Zeal and Aftermove, this could be absolutely huge.
And look at this warding coming out from Elements. He has every single spot he needs to warded, and he still has a lot of wards in his inventory. He is set and ready to go. All they need to do is really force this team fight, hopefully, and come out ahead. Shen is off split pushing right now. Maokai's coming in from the top. So maybe we're going to see something happen here as Smithy comes in. Is the ult up for Gosuzuna? Yes, it is. So possible engage coming here soon.
Yeah, everything except Twisted Fate ult up, and this wall is going to keep pressuring FeaR off of this turret, but you got to know Curse cannot deal with the split push. You had Smithy top lane split pushing, Zuna bottom split pushing, and everything just going so well here for FeaR. They did not mean for that to rhyme any more than I did, but you can see top lane 2 turrets gone, bottom lane that turret just starting to get DPS.
Oh, Twisted Advance out on the end, my Jackie. They're going to catch Smithy out here. Smithy taking a good bunch of damage. Is the kill going to go out? And yes, Cobb's going to get the kill, and the ult coming out from Jackie just for safekeepings. And actually, I mean, Cobb getting the kill, not the worst thing. We do have a 0-0-8. Karthus, almost a perfect game here, but he doesn't have any kills.
You know, that's the thing about Karthus. He has those 8 assists, which means it's not necessarily strengthening him, it's strengthening the rest of his team. And that is by no means a bad thing. It looks like this middle turret under heavy pressure, and without 5 people there, it could be extremely rough for them to initiate. Gosuzuna still with his ult available, though, able to come in here. You can see Aftermove stealth just in case they went in, but without an initiate, just going to give up that turret. That makes it 9-9, 4-2 in turrets. Things starting to come back as Curse does take that gold lead.
And now we see they're just going to spread out and try and farm back up. And there's just so much, like the warding coming out from Elements is amazing. He's got 2 wards in with the blue. He knows where this team is going to be almost before they know, it seems like.
And that's huge to this strategy. You can see that's Curse reacting to that secondary turret being taken top lane. They just were caught so out of position by FeaR running through their unwarded jungle that the top turret, they just gave that up for free. They cannot let that keep happening. And so you can see Elements reacting to that by having such extensive ward coverage that at all times they know exactly where FeaR is. And that means that FeaR, as effective as the split pushing strategy is going to be, they're going to know, Curse is going to know exactly when they're 4v5. They're going to force that fight, force the Shen ult out, and at that point the split pushing becomes a lot less scary. So look for them to do that, maybe try to force the advantage. That Karthus wall, like you can see, helping them take down that first middle turret, and really be huge here in these engages. Essentially it says if you want to fight, you're going to fight through this wall, and it gives us a huge advantage.
So one thing too, looking at it, we've got Cop at around 800 gold until he has his Trinity Force. That is just going to make him even more scary. He's just going to do so much more damage, and already we see Smithy at 0-4. We see Shen's going to be 1-1. He's got his split pushing items. He's got a little bit of armor, but Cop's just going to tear through that quickly. We do see a lot of just action, or a little bit of gathering coming around of Curse over at the Baron. FeaR knows what's going on, but we see Gosuzuna split pushing that bottom lane. I mean, Curse needs to do something about Gosuzuna or force a fight here so that he has to teleport in.
Yeah, great use of that Ezreal ult, kind of effectively countering that split push from Shen. Still has a few minions, still getting some nice turret damage off. Forced to send Boy bottom, and that gives them this a 4-on-4, and that's perfectly playing here into the hands of FeaR, because the FeaR's 4-on-4 is so much stronger than Curse's right now. They have the AoE from After Remove, the AoE damage reduction from Smithy, and ManCloud's ability to not only help in the peel for After Remove along with Muffin Cutie, but aid in those essential single target stuns and the AoE coming out there. So really, really strong 4v4 team here from the FeaR, but
they're going to catch out Smithy here. Exhaust going to go down, and St. Vicious Voyboy trying to get in. Voyboy still needs to use that Wind Slash, trying to wait till it gets low. Here comes Shen though. Twisted advance on St. Vicious. Knockup coming out. Surprise coming out from Muffin Cutie there. Doing a good amount of damage. Voyboy exhausted. He's going to go down here. ManCloud going to pick up that kill. There goes St. Vicious, but at the same time, Aftermoon picked up a kill, but he's down. Oh, Jackie going to pick up the kill onto Smithy. All going to come out. Cop getting a kill there. Now they're trying to chase down on the Cop. He's doing his best to kite. Zuna's taunt's going to be up here really soon. Cop going to throw out the... Oh, he's going to blow up ManCloud there, but go down to the Shen. But here comes Jackie and Elements. He's going to pick up a kill onto Jackie there and flash away. Elements kind of caught out there and really can't do much about it, but no, gonna throw out the Q and double buff Shen. I don't know. I think he'd be able to win this fight here.
Oh yeah, Shen doesn't have a shot at that. Elements knows how to play that way too well. That's the deceptive thing about Zyra. You really think you have her, and then she throws down CC, and you realize exactly how ridiculous that plant DPS is. And so Wise there buys Ghost Uzuna to back on out of there. Great job surviving that Karthus. Perfect micro, able to flash away at the last second to survive that. But once again, the same thing that hurt FeaR before, Smithy getting caught out, forcing FeaR to fight on that one. Really not the greatest situation. It pulled Shen back in, kept him from doing that split push, and you really have to wonder how long FeaR's strategy is going to work, because sooner or later Curse is going to catch up in that 4v4, and you saw how huge NY Jackie was in that fight. But now
Twisted Advance coming out on the St. Vicious knockup. He is feared. He is going to go down here, but here comes Cop, but no, he's just going to back out, and Aframu going to pick himself up another kill, going 5-3, really close to his Phantom Dancer now, and that's just going to make him infinitely. Cop going to throw out the ult, not going to be able to steal that, and we've got a Dragon going out to FeaR here.
But still, that only makes the gold count even. It's 41,000 to, well, okay, it's about 1,000 gold difference, but nothing game-changing at this point in the game. What's the thing you gotta watch out for? Voyboy's starting to get huge, sitting at about 228 AD right now. He's gonna be able to go in there, and just like we saw in that last fight, Aframu literally lasted for about 5 seconds in that fight. It was a very effective 5 seconds, but you generally want your AD carry to stick around for a while, so Aframu needs to be able to survive past that. Has Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer, and with that Negatron Cloak, wants to survive Karthus, wants to be able to out-micro and use that slow effectively versus Voyboy. And if he gets the kind of peel that he needs in this next fight, it just kind of goes without saying, a Twitch ult on top of your team, slightly effective.
ManCloud coming out with that Lich Bane now, that is scary. I mean, that's going to help him split push as much as possible, and they even have the possibility of ManCloud teleporting to a turret and then getting Shen ulted, and that's two people split pushing that same lane. That could easily be an inhibitor if they set this up right. But they know Cop's down in that bottom lane now. Not sure if Shen showed himself. Great route coming out from Elements. There comes the ult coming out from ManCloud. They're going to catch out Elements. He gets blown up. ManCloud picking up another kill there, going 7-2. Now it's a 4v5 if they want to try and force this Baron.
Yeah, and this is where they all hop on the Mandatory Cloud's shoulders and ride the FeaR train to victory, because holy cow, he has excellent positioning. Not sure if Baron here the smartest situation, but they need to force something so that they allow Ghost Uzuna to split push most effectively. They do have a huge advantage now that they really can't send anybody to stop Ghost Uzuna right now. If they do, it's a 3v4, which is even more in favor for FeaR, so you really got to look for Muffin Cutie's ult. Going to be absolutely ridiculous here in this next team fight. Aframu sees the giant red blob, wants to go help that out, so it doesn't look like Baron's really going to be threatened right now, but it does look like they're going to send Voyboy bottom once again to force to stop Ghost Uzuna's split push.
Voyboy is 1-2. He's making a good presence here. He's got that GA now, though, so you can almost expect he's always going to try his best to be on top of Aframu. I can almost guarantee he's going to be on top of Aframu every team fight and doing a mass amount of damage. He's got that Bloodthirster now. He's probably going to look to get a Last Whisperer next because of that armor pin just works so well with Riven's kit. It's going to be really scary.
And he is going to need it. You click on Ghost Uzuna, and you see he has 234 armor right now. Incredible regen, and that's really just going to help him continue to just sit down there.
Oh, and there comes the ult coming out from Shen, and look at this. I mean, oh, St. Vicious going to dive over, and he dove over a little bit too early. He's going to get Twisted Advance knockup. Exhaust goes down onto Zuna, and he dove over way too early there. Was not able to get the smite. Jackie going to dive in. Jackie getting blown up. Exhaust went down on the Aframu, and Red Team actually to pick up the Baron. They stole the Baron. All coming out from Karthus. Triple kill for NY Jackie right now. He just dominated that there.
Perfect positioning. You can see it. St. Vicious, yeah, he did dive in way early. Wasn't really trying to smite that, just wanted to sort of shake things up a little bit. I mean, if he was able to, then sure, that's great. But without Voyboy there, what was Curse going to do? I definitely did not see that fight going so strongly in their favor. You mentioned earlier before, Karthus just able to pick up these assists, but then you look at his items, he has Death Cap, Roa, Void Staff with Sork's shoes and Kage's lucky pick, or cages, I guess. You know, it's a Tenacious D reference or whatever, but just massive, massive cues coming out. The ultimate, just I cannot speak towards NY Jackie enough in that situation. Masterful positioning, able to die at exactly the right time, and whether it means nothing to him and he doesn't know why, I'm not sure, but he knows that he did everything he needed to in that last fight, making it 17-7. The Baron buff for Curse, and now only 4-3 in turrets.
And it's so even right now, and as our chat is saying, NY Jackie is doing amazing right now. Him and Cop are just carrying this so hard, and it's working out for him, and it's to the point where Karthus is starting to outscale anyone onto FeaR's team right now, and this is getting scary for FeaR. What do they do to fully stop Karthus?
Well, you got to look, there's a lot of really scary things on both teams as far as this late game is concerned. Karthus, the primary concern in that fight, just masterful, destruction of the entire enemy team pretty much. So you got to know FeaR is possibly afraid of Karthus, as dumb as that sounds, but whatever. NY Jackie, huge in that last fight, going to be huge in the next one, but coming up for FeaR, they do have that 7-3 man cloud, so if they can use that global ultimate to pick off one member of Curse, that's really what they got to be looking for, because that's when you see Twitch, oh my goodness, moving in here on Elements. He's going to pop the explosive, or the cast. Look at Elements, the sponge. Holy
so much
cow.
damage, and now he's turning on to St. Vicious. St. Vicious needs to get out of there. Twisted advance coming out from Smithy. He's diving right in the middle of the team. There comes the all out from Shen, but FeaR is kind of cut off here. And it's almost a 2v2. Here comes ManCloud. Here comes Aftermoon. Dive over from St. Vicious. And an easy kill coming out for Smithy there. But look at this. Jackie just tearing people apart. So is Cop. Riven going to pick up a kill there. Zuna needs to get out of there, but no. Double kill coming out for Cop. And they're just dominating right now. That was all Voyboy and Cop there. They just did so much damage.
Okay, once again, it's you gotta look towards Smithy. He was the one. Okay, great positioning by Aftermoon. Went in there, picked off Elements. Great, wonderful. But then he started kind of hinting at DPSing St. Vicious. You're like, well, do I want it? Do I not want it? And then Smithy just goes in there. He's like, huzzah! And jumps in there onto Karthus. They're like, you can see he popped Shirelia's right after he jumped in with Twisted Advance because he knew that wasn't going to be the right play. Couldn't get out of there. Forced the Shen ult, and then once again, FeaR just kind of forced the fight haphazardly. That meant that Afromu got negative 80,000 peel. I'm not sure if that's a unit, but that's going to be the first inhibitor of the game going to Curse, and now with that advantage, plus they're going to pick up a Dragon as well as the Baron buff that they used during that entire fight. Everything's starting to go their way.
Vish is going to pick up a nice Dragon there, and it's 56.5 to 50k. We're 32 minutes in here. This is still a best of 3, guys, and this is only the first game. This is going to be a great series coming out between FeaR and Curse. Both teams are just doing massively good right now. I am really excited to be able to cast the rest of these games.
Yeah, I'm not, just forget the rest of the games. I'm excited about this one. This is 19-21, and already after seeing only a 1,000 gold lead for FeaR, it's now transformed into a 6,000 gold lead for Curse. So just this game swinging wildly back and forth, and you can see that as the game progresses, Curse is really familiar with these late game situations. They know exactly what to do, and they're doing it. They're peeling for Cop. That is one of the most important things. They don't have to worry about peeling for NY Jackie, because who cares if he dies? He's still going to do 1,000,000 damage, and whether or not that's exactly accurate, I don't care, but it's pretty close, as you've seen in both of these last fights. Jackie picking up so many kills at that first Baron engage, and even forcing the Shirelias out here. Smithy is not going to make that same mistake again.
And, I mean, right now, FeaR needs to do something to get pressure on now. If they let this go where Curse is still going to be farming, they're still getting the upper hand, they're still pressuring, I mean, Jackie is just going to get bigger and bigger. Cop's going to get bigger and bigger. We've got Shen up in the top lane pushing. Afromu had to back out. They're easily going to be able to pick up this turret here, but Shen going to pick up one up top. Maybe a little fun base race trying to come out. St. Vicious going to go back. Maybe the rest of Curse trying to block what Zuna's doing. But, I mean, this is really all Zuna can do right now, and this is what he needs to do. He can get out of there quickly. He can farm. He's pushing. He's trying to get tanky. He has that Rando and Zoman now, and he needs to get on Cop and keep that up as much as possible. If they can burst Cop down, if they can keep Jackie somewhere out of the fight, they might be able to have a chance here. But at this time, I mean, we see Cop coming out. He's got a GA. Oh, and look at this. Up in the top, ManCloud trying to get onto Jackie. All coming out from Zuna, and Jackie just going to go down there. And here's the rest of FeaR. and this possibly could lead to something. Jackie going to pop his ult here, maybe trying to scare him off from doing anything here. Afromoo going to come back up, and maybe a little miscall there by Jackie.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe, you know, not quite the one to rage ult, but you got to look exactly what they were trying to accomplish. Perfect positioning there, and that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Mandatory Cloud using his ultimate to maximum effectiveness, going ahead, picking off Karthus, and now without Karthus for 30 seconds, Curse literally can't do anything. They have a huge push bottom lane, and so really great job by St. Vicious. Excellent positioning, trying desperately to counter that, because with top lane pretty much the only lane pushing because it, well, goes to Zuna in it. Mid lane's pushing into FeaR's base because of the lack of an inhibitor. Bottom lane completely shoved by Shyvana. St. Vicious really forcing FeaR to kind of stick in their own base, group up, clump up, and that's exactly what Curse want to do. They don't want to deal with this split push coming out from FeaR. They just want to have a straight up 5-on-5 team fight, because even though I was skeptical early on, they know they have this, and that is squarely on NY Jackie, and so much peel from not only Elements but also St. Vicious for Cop, so that he just gets the DPS for the entire fight. Just such excellent team fighting coming out here from Curse that's really winning them this game. Then another thing to, well, pretty much watch out for is as we see this Baron attempt here, Curse is going to jump on there. There's the ultimate coming out from Twisted Fate. The Shurelya's initiate and a pause coming out at the Baron? What?
That's a little weird here.
Best pauses NA here. Only the best pauses here at the National ESL, because we realize that when a Baron fight's coming up, what more could you possibly want than a pause, Jackie disconnecting, Cop disconnecting, St. Vicious disconnecting, Elements disconnecting, the entirety of Team Curse disconnecting. Well, it appears that the NESL DDoS Invitationals are back, and whether or not that's entirely accurate, Curse has left the building. I think they're channeling their inner Elvis. I don't know what's going on, but here we come with the reconnects. Momentary router reset. I don't know, maybe just like a simultaneous desire for the bathroom. I don't know. Lagging is apparently to blame here. There's a little bit of simultaneous nature to that, so I'm not sure what's going on, but should have Curse back in the game. It looks like we do have Elements, NY Jackie, Cop, Boy, St. Vicious. Everybody's back. Should be good to go here once Curse figures out exactly what on earth just happened.
Test, you able to hear me okay?
Yeah, all right, so everything's good to go. I can hear you, you can hear me. The only thing that's a little bit rough is this unfortunate pause, but we have ready, set, go in chat, so we should be getting this back underway in just a second. Only had to pause for a couple seconds, and Muffin Cutie saying go if play will resume in 3, 2, 1, and we're back.
And here comes Team FeaR trying to get on Team Curse. Twisted Advance goes out. There's the knockup. Jackie taking a lot of damage, but surprise coming out from Fiddlesticks. Afromoo going to get a kill. Jackie going to grab 1-2 Muffin Cutie there. Double kill from Afromoo. He is just in the back lane there. And there's the Guardian Angel from Voidboy, and Cop going to pause it.
Oh my goodness. Apparently Cop couldn't use abilities. I was watching both AD carries at the same time. I saw Afromoo like literally sit in the back and do 1,000,000 damage for the entirety of that fight. I was like, okay, so they're not focusing the AD carry. He's doing all the damage, and FeaR is just annihilating them like straight up. And then I realized as I was looking at Cop, he's just literally sitting there pushing buttons on people's faces, and only auto attacks are coming out, and that sucked for Curse in that fight. I mean, you got to know there's a little bit of a difference because of the way Afromoo's steroid works. When he does a pop that's spray and pray, it hits everyone, so he doesn't really have to worry about focusing, just lining them up, Baneling style, or I guess that's more applicable to Hellions. But regardless of which esport we're playing, Cop only able to focus exactly one person, and even when you can't use spells, that makes it less effective. He's running away right now, and you got to know FeaR as they come back out of this pause. Yeah, Cop's a little bit frustrated, understandably so, but when this pause comes out, what is FeaR going to look to do? They have Voidboy in his GA. They're going to look to work on that almost immediately, because Cop and Elements, they're running away right now, and honestly, what else can they do? I mean, they're 4 versus, well, 2.5 right now, because Voidboy's GA is down. Really rough situation. Is that we're going to resume play in 3, 2, 1.
And we have a double kill already coming out from Aframu. He's staying in the back. Elements and Cop trying to get away. Voyboy's going to go down. Aframu going to pick up that kill. And just a great job by FeaR, though, in that fight. But it didn't work out too well for Team Curse. Something to note, I was kind of pointing out here, we have double Randuin's Omens coming out for FeaR. They really want to control where Curse goes, or where Cop goes, excuse me there. I mean, that's devastating if that gets onto an AD carry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the more devastating thing is not being able to use skills. That was also slightly effective for FeaR in that last fight, but also great positioning, perfect peel, and an excellent cleanse, keeping Aframu safe throughout the entirety of that fight. Now you can see he has Last Whisper, Executioner's Calling, and almost a full build with the exception of, well, I guess he's not going to go GA, and he got the poor man's Bloodthirster, so that's pretty much as much as it gets here for Aframu. I didn't have any elixirs quite yet, and massive pushes in all of the FeaR lanes. They just wanted to push out there, grab a turret, but really, as good as that fight went for FeaR, they lost a lot from that. All their lanes are now pushing, and it's going to take them a long time to sort of like push those out and get into that same great positioning once again, because in the next fight, you have to remember Cop's going to be there in full force, ready, looking for vengeance for that last fight, because you can tell he was not happy about 2 DCs right before one of the most important Baron fights of the game.
And that could really turn it for Curse right now. They need to get into a team fight and they need to win. St. Vicious now 1-7-9. He's got that Randallings. He's got an Aegis of the Legion. He's going to try and be in that middle of the team fight, but he is just going down so quick. It is scary.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering about why on earth you would ever pick up an Executioner's Calling, it's because it gives you the most lifesteal out of any item you can buy other than a Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster, well, you have to kind of include that BF sword. It gives you crit chance, and when you have an Infinity Edge, it does give you a lot more damage just because, well, you crit more often, and it does give you so much lifesteal that it's almost worth it. It's just, hey, I'm going to pick this up now. I'm going to get hella farmed later on. I'm going to, be able to pick up a Bloodthirster eventually, but it's good enough right now. But Curse pushing into an open inhibitor, they are going to go hard in the paint here, and without a Shen here, he's going to have to ult in from his split push bottom, which is not really being maximum effective right now, as Muffin Cutie, wow, just exerting a huge zone along with the Smithy Snare, which obviously Curse don't want to experience right now, kind of pushing Curse out of FeaR's base. So really impressive sort of force there by FeaR, when I would have thought that Curse had the advantage in that situation.
And something cool I'm seeing out of Elements that you just do not see much anymore is Locket of the Iron Solari. Not a lot of supports go for that, or maybe it just doesn't get late into the game for them to want to go for that. But that is really cool to see, and it really helps out a lot. But look at this, FeaR trying to maybe bait out a Baron fight here, starting it up, then backing it out. Sapling going over, trying to get the vision, but Curse, they're on their way. But now they got to send Void up top to deal with Gosuzuna.
Again, I really think you have to look at St. Vicious's positioning. He is top lane, Voyboy's bottom lane. There's so much split push coming out here from FeaR. I mean, I was talking about how long and how hard it's going to be for them to push out their lanes, but really, they've done that. And so with their lanes pushing, you can see that they've taken away 2 members of Curse, making it a 4v5, which is, I mean, I'd fight 4v5s all day if that was what League of Legends was about, and it's what FeaR has sort of crafted this game with picks, with positioning, with lane pushing it to be, and it's really working out well for them as they start in on this Baron. They're 2-manning it right now, and with as tanky as Smithy is, and as look at the damage that Aframu is just doing right now. Like, Baron just doesn't even care, and Curse just in no position to stop that. A free Baron going over to FeaR.
And we had Voidboy up in the top lane fighting with Gosuzuna around the same time. Shirelli is going to come out. Cop going to shift over the wall. They're not going to be able to catch up to him now, but now here's that extra pause button that's going to come out. That pause button that Curse really can't do anything about right now. They need to play back. They really do not want to start a fight with, at a 10-4 Twitch right now, it's just ridiculous. Now he has Baron buff. You do not want to be a part of that team fight.
Exactly, and so instead of a pause button, I think this is actually a fast forward button here for FeaR. They have the ultimate Destiny available on Mandatory Cloud. He's going to be able to split push. You guys go to Zuna, who's split pushing. They can either split push, they can shove in these lanes. They are so ridiculously strong right now, and with the regen, with the extra stats that they get from that Baron buff, that's really going to help negate the AoE effects that Curse have been using for all of these fights pretty much. Karthus is going to die that much faster. They're going to regen through so much of the just fast sort of kind of out there AoE damage that comes from, Karthus, Saint Vicious. Cop has a little bit of AoE along with Elements and Voyboy. And it just all stacks up. The regen's super huge, not only in team fights, but when you're pushing their base. And you can see a really great play here made by FeaR. They've decided to go ahead, back up, spend all their extra gold, and pause the game because that makes it more... Oh, are you serious? Apparently, Afro Moon Muffin Cutie just have the world's smallest bowels. Elements just quits out of the game. Cop goes ahead and says peace out. I'm not sure anybody's having too cool a time right now. The entirety of Curse DCs once again, and hopefully they'll be coming back because... as great as 4v5s are, yeah, perfect job there. Smithy says, good work, my minions, apparently causing the entirety of Curse to DC. Like I said, hopefully they'll be on their way back, and Afro Moon, Muffin Cutie can finish powdering their noses or whatever they're, simultaneously going to the bathroom for. But we'll see both of the teams hopefully reconvene here, because apparently the cool thing to do nowadays is, pause the game at, important parts. And thank goodness there's no Baron buff right now, but even still, really tense situation, as with this Baron buff, FeaR is looking ridiculously strong.
And if you guys are just tuning into the stream, this is the EPS finals coming out between Curse and FeaR, casted by myself, John Gussie, usually go by Gussie, and Rapid here. This is game one of a best of 3, and we're already 41 minutes into the game, and still no clear winner coming out. It's so close on gold, so close on kills, so close on towers. This is just crazy right now.
Well, let's just be real. I mean, if things continue this way, and Curse is just not actually in the game, then that's obviously going to be slightly one-sided. And while FeaR may be happy to win a game, it sucks to win with as many DCs. And you gotta know Cop is a little bit rough with that. And I mean, if Afromu comes back, he says we're all ready, but nobody from Curse is in the game, so that's a little bit rough. I'm not sure if maybe they were a little bit frustrated with the constant pausing, and I mean, I can completely understand that, but hopefully, we got everybody coming back. I can understand why they would, all DC and then all reconnect just to try to clear up any issues while there's no immediate action happening at this particular point in time, but kind of still waiting for, the important second team part of the game to come back. So there we go, Saint Vicious, good guy Saint Vicious, reconnects to the game. There's Voyboy coming back, and the rest of the Curse rejoining here any moment now, so we should be able to get this game underway in the near future.
And it's already they're calling a little bit of DDoS there, so it might be happening, it might not. But looking at some of this game, what do you see going on right now? I mean, both teams have a lot of items. They're getting to that point where they're almost full build, and it's more about skill than what, farm and that kind of thing. What do you see happening here? As we've got Afromu 10-4, but we've got Cop at 10-2. We've got Jackie at 6-5-14, but we've got ManCloud 8-4-7.
Okay, let's just be real. If, say, magically there were 5 cops and each one of them could DPS one member of FeaR, you would still add up all that damage into one Twitch, because Spray and Pray, probably the best AD carry steroid in the game. I mean, the ability to hit every single person on the team, possibly, that's actually going to be slightly effective in team fights. And it's kind of like, what if you had an AD Karthus that could crit on his Qs that dealt damage to the entire enemy team? Slightly effective. Apparently, DDoS notwithstanding, Curse is back in here, hopefully to stay, and looks like the game will progress. Karthus, like you mentioned earlier on, Gussie, gonna pick up that Deathfire Grasp, and I don't actually have too much of a problem with that, because like you see, it's his last item. He has 700 ability power, so even with the nerfs to Deathfire Grasp, it's gonna deal 50% of their health. So I don't care how much you nerf it, 50% of your health with all the magic penetration that Jackie's running is currently at 30 over 46%. That's going to be enough no matter how you look at it.
And we've got the ult coming out from ManCloud. They're just trying to see where Curse is. Curse is grouping round 1. They're having internet problems. They don't want to get caught out. But look at this. We've got FeaR coming right in. We've got Gosuzu taking his spot down in the bottom lane again. We've got ManCloud in the top. They can all get to a team fight if they need to. Maybe they just need Afromu to try and bait someone out with his luscious fro there.
Well, that would be only one of the many tools that Afromoo has to bait out. The other one being his sexy little Twitch body here that I'm sure any member of Curse would just love to have their way with right now, because that's kind of the name of the game. It's if Twitch lives, then everybody dies. If Twitch dies, then Curse is probably going to have a really good shot at this, just because, well, 180 carry to none, that's actually pretty effective. And you can see that they've actually put Cop bottom lane because he is one of the only people with high enough DPS to actually slow Zuna down. I mean, Boy, as great as he is and as high enough damage as he does possess, 300 AD with that last Whisper, and he's actually running some armor penetration for 46%. It's going to be slightly effective, but just so tanky is Zuna right now. He has 279 over 207. Those tank stats are way too much for Riven to get through right now, so thus Cop goes bottom to stop the split push. That puts him out of position. You can see Afromoo turning around. He's like, okay, hold on, guys. I got to get a red buff because you guys, you can't win games without a red buff. And so that puts a little bit more of a delay on FeaR continuing to push in here on the Curse base. It's delaying that Baron advantage, and already you can see just a slip left on the Baron timer, but with all three lanes pushing into Curse's base, this could be the last push of the game.
And they have all three lanes pushing right now. We've got three in the top lane. We've got two coming out in the other two lanes here. And Afromoo gonna pop his ult and just blow up Jackie as Jackie flashes in. All gonna come out. Muffin Cutie needs to get away from there. Afromoo has just pieced out. And now, I mean, we've got the ult coming in from ManCloud as Cop did go in onto him. I'm sorry, ult from Zuna to ManCloud. Oh, they caught out Zuna there, but Zuna is just so tanky right now that pretty much Elements is doing no damage to him, and Cop's poke didn't really do anything.
Yeah, but Afromoo's going to be able to heal up to full off of just the 21% lifesteal that he does have off of just autoing those creeps in the middle lane, whereas you're going to have to wait another 30 seconds for Jackie to come back up. Interestingly enough, after getting that pick, I mean, that's cool and all, but you kind of need to push something else after that. The Baron buff did run off for FeaR, so you kind of know maybe they want to back off after that, but even still, with that 4-on-5 advantage, I really feel like they didn't press that to the fullest of their extent. Now, you got to know that Muffin Cutie was a little bit low. Afromoo did have to take some time to heal back up, so kind of better safe than sorry attitude coming out here, as I mean, FeaR just continues to get stronger, but really, can they afford to let Curse do the same right now? I'm not too sure about that.
And ManCloud going back to pick up a GA. We now got 2 GAs on each team. Maybe you're going to see a little M5S coming out here and start seeing, you know, the supports getting GA. I really don't think so, but it really involves right now about FeaR getting this pressure right now. And Zuna is in that bottom lane. He's doing what he needs to, and he's making Curse worry about him more than what's going on in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think that one of the key things to notice about this next upcoming fight is that Karthus' ult down for 40 seconds, and I mean, ManCloud's ult is in fact up, so that's a little bit of a discrepancy there.
Oh, look at that damage on Jackie. He's going to have to Zhonya's, but he's easily going to go down. Afromoo going to pick himself up another kill. Jackie really just can't do anything about it. I mean, Afromoo with that long range on that ult, I mean, he's just got great precision with it right now.
Well, it's the ambush initiate. He's using that beautifully, masterfully, well, I guess mastering Twitch. When you stealth, they don't know where you are, and really keeping track of that AD carry is probably the most important person to know where they are, because Afromoo's just popping up there. He assassinated Saint Vicious earlier. He assassinated, I think it was Elements, and he just
the last fight gonna come in. There comes the Dragon Descent. Grace twisted advance knockup, but look at this damage coming out. Cop is just dominating right now, doing so much. He's got a double kill. Ghost of Zuna gonna get caught out by Elements there, trying to chase down Cop. They didn't even pop his GA, and he just destroyed that fight.
How did Boy live? Oh my goodness. I was just watching perfect positioning from Twitch. I mean, he only has like 550 range, but he's using that perfectly over the wall, putting that wall between him and whoever he was deciding to just completely destroy at that point. And it was actually Boy who made it out alive. He lived, and they managed to trade 1v2 in that situation, so Curse actually doing an extremely good job pushing FeaR out of their base, but now they are the ones with the inhibitor down. FeaR has been in this situation before a little bit earlier on in this game. You can still see they still have that open inhibitor, but just kind of going back and forth. You can see the tides of battle turning massively, and if you play Street Fighter, then you know what that's all about. But it's 25-24, an advantage for FeaR, and now a gold advantage for Will, but tide and turrets mean that this game could go either way. Now that Curse pressing in there on that Baron.
And look at Boy. Double Bloodthirster build with the last Whisper. That's how he stayed alive in that last fight. That is so much lifesteal and just so much damage. Voyboy now has 390 attack damage with the Baron buff versus Aframu, who's the AD carry on the other team, has 262.
Okay, but keep in mind, Aframu does have that Executioner's Calling instead of the Bloodthirster. He does have the Quicksilver Sash instead of the Guardian Angel, so that's a little bit interesting of a choice there. Another pause coming out there, as once again, we could possibly see either Curse DDoS or maybe just Cop unable to use spells. Maybe just making sure everything is right, because they are going in for what could be the scariest push of this game. And now all of Curse DCs, so you guys know how this goes.
So again, guys, if you're just tuning in, trying to figure out what's going on, this is the EPS Pro Series. This is the belt to the finals right now. We do have another game going on our other stream, that is CLG NA versus CLG Black. And then the winners out of each of these games, they're both best of 3, are going to go against each other on the main stream after this. This is casted by myself, John Gussie, and Rapid. You can find us on Twitter. Just go put our names in. I'm sure you're going to find us and pick us right up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Rapid Transit 24/7 if you want to check me out. But more importantly, check out the ESL at ESL. You can check out when we're streaming wonderful events like this, as well as, important little things like the IEMs and a few other great tournaments that we do run. But thanks for tuning in, all of you, for at least the secondary stream broadcast of Curse versus FeaR. Like you mentioned, Gussie, we got CLG versus CLG Black on the main stream. So definitely, if you have dual monitors, one stream for each monitor. If you only have one, well, split screen works just as well. And when one stream is moving a little bit slower than the other one, then hit up the other one. It's all NESL. It's all the ESL Pro Series here. So thanks for tuning in, checking us out, and apparently we should be ready to go here in just a second as people start filing in. And I really got to ask you, Gussie, we have seen team fights go right back and forth. It's literally 78.8k to 77.3. Huge gold counts here, massive items on huge carries. Every single person capable of turning this game around if they do things correctly or incorrectly. What do you see happening here in this next team fight? Like I said, everybody absolutely massive right now.
With how this is going right now, Aframu just has great positioning. At the start of the game, he was still getting in, he was with the middle of the team. He was still kind of feeling it out. Riven was able to get to him. But now Aframu, 12-4, is just in the back. He is just doing so much damage, and it's really hard to get to him. And I want to give this to FeaR, but at the same time, Cop is doing the same thing. It's really a toss-up. It's hard to call right now.
Absolutely, and I think that's, you probably have fans on both sides that just say, well, St. Vicious is great, he's going to carry them to victory, or possibly a lot on the other side as well as a lot of fans here for, there's Mandatory Cloud, Smithy, Muffin Cutie, Aframu, or I guess we have Zuna here as well representing the sub-roster, but you got to look here towards exactly how well FeaR has been team fighting every single time. Earlier on, Smithy having some issues getting caught out, but you can just see right there, they went ahead, backed off, traded that inhibitor because they recognize how narrowly this game is balanced. Things are kind of even right now. You got lanes pushing a little bit in favor for FeaR. You got to look towards that bottom lane. The turret has some minions on it, but NY Jackie going to clear out those, as now FeaR grouping up here around this blue buff. They're going to secure that for Mandatory Cloud, and once they take that down, they got to be looking to pick somebody off. I don't think they're going to start this sort of crazy, are we going to, oh, look at Aframu. He stealth past the minion wave. Okay, he was looking to catch somebody out there. Nobody found, turns around, clears it out, but just like they initiated that last fight, stealth, you run in there with ambush, and you literally functionally ambush somebody, take them out, whether it's Elements or I forget who got jumped on that last fight. I think he's assassinated NY Jackie a couple of times. It is absolutely masterful Twitch play here for Aframu, just kind of initiating these team fights perfectly. And it's not often that you see the AD carry initiate, unless you're playing Ashe or Varus or somebody with that huge massive CC. Aframu just sneaks up, one-shots them almost, and he's got to be looking towards his Bloodthirster coming up now. See, Aframu still has scaling. He has tons of stuff he can blow gold on, whereas, Cop, Voyboy, they're kind of maxed out on items. I guess Voyboy can work on his Negatron Cloak into a Fawn, which I actually hear they're removing from the game, so as crazy as that is, a lot of of different things left to happen here as both teams just kind of repositioning. They know that whatever happens in this next fight is going to be massive. Cop dealing out 1,066 damage crits there. I just don't even know. The damage here is starting to get a little bit crazy. Aftermoon picks up that Bloodthirster. Could look for a Guardian Angel instead of QSS. Still has that green pot running, so that he is actually at, as far as critical chance is concerned, 94%. So, I mean, that's good
Double
enough for
Phantom
me.
Dancer.
Holy crap. No boots on Aftermoon. Doesn't even care. He's still running, only 378 movement speed, so going to make microing a little bit rougher. Does have QSS to help with that, but he has 2.2 attack speed when he's in range of that Zeke's Herald, or Zeke's Herald, however you want to pronounce that. But even still, 70% attack speed buff. When you go into ambush, he's going to throw his attack speed way up towards that maximum. But Curse moving rather stealthily over through... there is a ward from FeaR. So they're going to get scouted out here. And this could be the fight, depending on how well St. Vicious and Voyboy really want to initiate this. A lot of great communication coming out from Curse. And you can see they're going to fight on their terms. They're kind of waiting, wanting to catch FeaR out. They're just going to go straight for this turret and just not necessarily a base race because they're already on the turret.
And this is perfect. This is what they need to do. They've got pressure coming out. Aframu's down in the bottom part. FeaR can't really do much about this unless they're going to start a 4v5.
Oh my goodness.
Aframu's here now, so look for something to start here soon. They take an inhibitor. Karthus Wall comes out. Great job getting the inhibitor and just getting away. That's exactly what they needed to do.
Big plays coming out from Curse right there. You can see they perfectly negated the vision there for FeaR. FeaR knew, hey, they're up there in that general area, but Aframu all the way in the bottom lane farming it out. You don't need more CS, Aframu.
Oh, and there comes the Shurelias. Are they going to start this? The Twitch, or I'm sorry, the FeaR did go out. Nightjackie just taking so much damage. St. Vicious diving in. Exhauster going down. Aframu just getting destroyed by Voyboy right now. Voyboy taking him out. Double kill for ManCloud. And there, look at Voyboy. He is caught between 3 people, Elements, trying to get into there. But it just turned out to a 3 for 2 right there, actually. So FeaR coming ahead. And, I mean, Voyboy did what he needed to. He got in and he took Aframu out quick.
Oh, okay, you say FeaR came out ahead, and I'll agree. As far as the numbers are concerned, great. But you got to look at the damage-wise. Curse still has Cop stupidly fed right now. You got Elements there, lots of CC, a lot of giant stuff that you can put in front of Cop to just keep him alive and keep people CC'd. And then you look over at FeaR right now. You have a Maokai, a Fiddlesticks, and a Shen, and that is nowhere near the same level of damage that Cop can dish out. They have a lot of CCs, so they have a lot of options that they can use to maybe lock him down for long enough. There's finally a Zeke's Herald picked up by Elements. I know he's actually one of the supports that loves to go Zeke's a little bit earlier, but now getting this as the last of his 3 supporting items. Still no Aegis of the Legion on Elements, and I guess, well, you don't really need that when it is picked up on the rest of your team, and I mean, Shyvana has that right now. Double Aegis, never a bad thing, but really not something that Elements needs, so that leaves him free to pick up items like you saw him pop that Locket of the Iron Solari. I mean, it faded almost instantly, but still, that's a couple hundred health for everybody on your team, so really great job picking that up. Helps a lot against a lot of the AoE, but you can see the problem then in that fight was St. Vicious dives straight towards Aframu, forces him to chunk him down, focus the tank that St. Vicious was. He hit a huge Randuin's proc right in the middle of that, and it just really hurt his DPS, but you gotta think, Aframu has close to like 3.1 attack speed. Of course, it caps out at 2.5, but when you're taking like Randuin slows on your attack speed on top of that, it still hurts to to have that extra on top of that just so that you deal as much damage as possible. I really think that in this next team fight, it's all going to be about how well can they peel for Aframu. His flash is down. He has no boots, and that's really going to be huge because even though he was able to flash out of that last fight, his FeaR going to be able to react to this.
And Shorelia is going to come out from Elements. They do not want to fight this. Aframu is there, and Aframu is going to be in that back just doing so much damage. Look at Shen's build, though. This is something we've seen a lot in the Korean scene, and I know M5's Darien likes to do it now. He picked up Trinity Force on Shen.
Yeah, he is looking to be able to really, as Shen, you have to be able to win that 1v1 when you have somebody come at you and try to keep you from split pushing. But with double Bloodthirster on Voyboy, he's going to be able to finally break through that threshold of damage, I feel. I mean, he's just stacked on items. They're waiting what I like to call the TD spot. This is where they love to just sit, wait for you to come around the corner. But with Maokai saplings and a lot of really excellent wards, I don't think that FeaR is going to fall prey to that one aspect of their clever shenanigans. I think that's Nah, actually, Smithy is way off to the side. He's looking to kind of peel around the side, maybe get a good angle, but looks like FeaR kind of having an interesting position. They want to go for Baron, but they're trying to split push top lane, not the opposite lane away from Baron, which is what I would consider going for. Is now there's a huge wave pushing in for Curse on the FeaR bottom lane.
And Aphromoo trying to catch out St. Vicious there. St. Vicious, he's still in the process of doing what he needs for his team when he gets into team fight. He is 1-8-12, but don't let that 8 death fool you, because I mean he's getting bursted down quick, but he's in there, he's getting his exhaust down, he's getting his Randuins down, and that's what he needs to do. He's displacing the team as much as possible. And look at this, Curse gonna start onto the Baron, and St. Vicious Smithy trying to dole it out. Muffin Cutie gonna come around, take a bit of damage from Elements, but Cobb gonna pick up that kill on the Baron Nashor. Voyboy gonna get feared. Muffin Cutie just gonna heal. No surprise coming out from Muffin
Stopping
Cutie.
them. They're backdooring the base.
Wow, and the backdoor coming out, all gonna come down from Nyjackie there. Now they're why are they doing? They're staying on Smithy here. Smithy just doing what he can to stop Jack or St. Vicious coming in, excuse me. And FeaR just backdoored that.
Perfect ultimate. I'm sitting there watching.